Hey everyone, so I'm going to show you how I use Asana for talking to clients and kind of managing all of my projects. So if you aren't super familiar with Asana, I would recommend reading these two blog posts from Rowan Maid, and I linked them in another comment somewhere. Someone asked a question about Asana and I linked those here, so you can find that somewhere in the group. If you search Asana, it should pop up. But these are on Rowan Maid's blog, and she shared how she uses Asana. And this was a while ago, but it's where I got a lot of good information. And whenever I started using Asana, I pretty much copied everything that she was doing. So definitely check it out. And it goes really in depth. She has two different posts. One is kind of like an overview of how Asana works, and then the other one is specifically how she uses it. So yeah, if you aren't super familiar with Asana, you can check that out. But Asana is wonderful. I think it's free. I still use the free version. There is a paid version that has some extra functions to it, and you can have a bigger team. But honestly, I found that I don't even need the paid version, and I get along just fine. So just letting you know, I don't think you need to get the paid version if you were wondering about that. I still use the free version, and it's been plenty for me. So first, I just do a different project board for each of the clients that I work with, and some of them are just private for me. I make a to-do list for my daily tasks that I need to get done. That's what I do here. I do client work and then just regular business stuff, and I just kind of to leave reminders of things that I need to do that otherwise I would forget. And then, yeah, everything else is just, there's a board for each client. And I'm going to show you this one. So this one's currently going on. So you can see some of the tasks are checked off and some of them are not. So we're kind of in the middle of this one. But yeah, this is basically how I set everything up. And I'll probably take a screenshot of all of this so that you can just see the order of everything. But basically, I've made a template, and this is it for my branding process. So I've outlined everything. There are sections to kind of group each phase of the process. So creative direction, brand development, or logo development, refinement number 1, refinement number 2, those 2 rounds of refinement that I automatically include, then final adjustments, last steps. And if there's anything extra that client specifically needs, then of course I'll add it in. But the good thing is that I've made these templates and it has all of the content whenever I'm going to share links to the presentation or the screen recording video or feedback stuff. All of that is in. If you click on the task, all of that I put in the task description here. So all of that information's in there. And then if I have a new project that I'm just starting, all I have to do is click duplicate project, replace it with the project name, and then make sure all of that stuff is going to be copied over. And that's all I have to do to add a new project into Asana. And like I said, if there's something specific that client needs, this client has collateral pieces, so I added that in at the bottom. But other than that, I just copied and pasted that template into this new project board, and then added the due dates, added the client into it to their tasks that they're supposed to complete, and that's it. So it's really quick and easy to add new projects into this, which is obviously very nice. But let me see. So whenever it comes to presenting things and getting feedback, like I said, I do all of that within the task description. So this one, you can see here, some of these tasks are just for me, start on the creative direction, present the creative direction, and I'll have a due date for that. And those tasks that are just assigned to me, I don't put any information in there because they're just reminders for me. The client doesn't need to worry about them. But the ones that are assigned to the client, that's where I put all the information about, here's a link to the presentation, here's a link to the video, here's a link to the feedback form. And usually I'll leave a couple of comments. Like once I add the links in there, I'll leave a couple of comments so that they know that it's been updated. But that's pretty much it. And for my presentations, I always just save it in Dropbox and share a Dropbox link. And then for the videos, I use Screencastify, which is through Google Chrome. So I can automatically save it to Google Drive and then use a Google Drive link to share that. So one thing that's different from how I used to do it and how I do it now is that with feedback, let me see if I have one of my old okay, so what I used to do, and this is I think what Bree from Rowan Made does, if you look through her stuff here, I used to have people give me their feedback in Asana. So I would share the link to the presentation here, and then underneath of that there's feedback instructions, and the client can type on this, the task description, if they're added to it down here, then they can type anything they want into the task description. So I would just have those feedback questions right there, and then I would send a screen recording video at the beginning so that they understand how to use Asana and how to do all of this stuff. But I would say, like, whenever you're ready to give feedback, all you have to do is type in here, and that's it. So that's how I would get my feedback from them. And I would always leave a comment to say, hey, I just added the link. You can give your feedback above whenever you're finished. And then I would always let them know, like, once you're done, click mark complete, then I'll know you're done, and then I'll go in and view your feedback. So that's how I used to do it, and you can absolutely do it that way. I think that that's a nice thing to keep it all right there in one place. But now, since I've started using Dubsado, I use online forms with Dubsado. So let me go back here. So now, instead of having them write out their feedback here, I just have a link to the Dubsado form for them to fill out. And part of that is because I wanted to just sort of streamline it a little bit, so that the problem was that doing it the old way, having all of the feedback questions be in here, it meant that if I ever wanted to change my feedback questions, I had to go through and change all of them. And that got kind of annoying. And if I would change it in one project, then I'd forget to change it in the other one. It was just kind of annoying to have to go through and manually change all of them. But since I have Dubsado now, I can go through and I have all of these forms that I've created, so all these feedback forms here, and I can change it once and update it. And since I'm just sharing the link, it'll automatically update that link no matter where I've put it. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's kind of why I wanted to just use Dubsado for the feedback form rather than just putting it here in Asana. And since I'm using that, it allows me to do some more things with the feedback form. So I can add a link if they want to schedule a call. That's like a new thing that I've been doing, so that if they give me their feedback and they think, oh, I'd rather just talk about this, then there's a link right there to schedule the call, even though that's already in, let me go to the presentation. Even though I have the feedback, even though I have a link to schedule a call in the presentation, I also have it at the end of the feedback form, just in case, so that it's right there again as like a reminder. You can schedule a call if you want. But then I can do like drop-down questions or these like radio button questions, so that I can say, okay, are we going to move forward, or do we need to change some stuff first? And that just makes it really simple. And that's something that obviously I couldn't do by just writing out the questions here. I mean, I could ask that question, but it's just a little bit easier to keep track of doing it this way. So that's pretty much it. And you can like, the language that I was using before, which is what like Rowan Maid uses in this blog post, is a little bit different, but now I've sort of streamlined it to where all of the language that's in each task is pretty much the same. I think all that I switch out is the name here. Basically, I just say, once finished, I'll upload everything to these links that will be shared below. Then once you're done looking at the presentation, fill out this feedback form, link below, and that's it. So it's just kind of nice that I'm using the same language for every single thing. It's only the links that are changing. But yeah, and same with like client homework. I have some stuff for that as well. And again, that's a Dubsado link. And yeah, and like I said, whenever I add links in here, I will always make sure to leave a comment below and tag the client and say, hey, I just added the links. There's a video of me walking you through the presentation. Let me know if you have questions before giving your feedback. Have a great weekend. Also, the video wasn't working immediately. You can see that, but it's like, I'll always send them some kind of other notification, because if I just add the links in here, they might not remember to check. If you just change out the links or something, it's not going to send them a notification, I don't think. It'll only send them a notification if you like attach a file or leave a comment. So that's why I always leave the comment, to make sure that they get something in their email to say, hey, something's here for you to look at. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else I should cover for all of this. I know people said some stuff about clients being confused about how to use Asana. Most of my clients have been fine with it. And I think a lot of you said that you just send like a document that outlines how to use Asana, but you thought maybe I should do a screen recording. So yes, that's what I do. And I think that that's super helpful. Even just like what I'm showing you now is super helpful, just for them to see everything. And like I said, I feel like this is pretty straightforward, because all they have to do, like, they see what tasks are assigned to them. They're just going to get a notification in their email. They can click a link and go directly to this task. All they have to do is click on these links, and that's it. And they can leave a comment to reply to you if you want, but they don't have to do anything other than just clicking links, really, and filling out the form in Dubsado, which is very straightforward. So I think that this is pretty easy for clients to understand, and they should understand the due dates and stuff like that. But yeah, and a lot of times, like, clients will forget to mark things complete, and that's no big deal if they don't understand to do that. That's fine. I'll usually just mark it complete anyways, because once they fill out the feedback form, I get an email so that I know that it's done. And yeah, I don't know, but hopefully this helps. I'll try to take some screenshots of like how I set everything up, just so that you can see it. And yeah, if you have other questions, just let me know. And again, I definitely recommend checking out those blog posts from Rowan Maid, because I think they're very helpful.